Sarnia, I'm Katie Horvath. This is called Into the City. I'm here today with Janet Chynces. Janet is running in the upcoming Sarnia municipal election for a seat as a city councillor. Thanks a lot for coming to chat with me. I know you were busy working today, so I appreciate your time. So for those who have not yet had a chance to learn about yourself and your campaign, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for council this year?
Okay. Well, again, my name is Janet Chynces, and I guess I've been in management for over 20 years. I've had close ties with the school board. I've had a lot of positions within the school board, and positioning myself within the art community, so between St. Pat's and St. Chris, and also with the South End schools. So a lot of experience with the public and with different meetings and looking at things that were going on with that. As well, I've served on Safe Communities, and it's a great organization, so I did a lot of work with that. And then, you know, between my work and all the other volunteer stuff I do between SMAA and baseball and holding all the positions there, so always a volunteer of some sort.
Great. Very involved in the community.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And why did you decide this year to make a run for council?
I've always been watching council and always actually looking at people and, you know, some of their views and some of the opinions, you know, love the opinion. And I guess I'm a fact-based person, and I'm looking at this and I think it's time for a change. Some of the old is, again, you know, we're looking at that. And I truly believe that the city needs change. We need forward thinking. We're stuck. I believe we're stuck, and we definitely need to look at the youth. Yes, we want seniors. We have everything there for seniors. I truly believe we've invested a lot into that because we are a senior town. But we have the youth that we need to look at, and we want to prepare the city for the future, for the youth, right? So truly, I think that's really important.
Okay, great. And what is it about you personally that you think would make you a good representative for the people in Sarnia?
First off, I believe that I put everything into everything that I go for. And I'm a true believer also that you have to listen to the people. The councils are there, they're elected by the people. And again, we should be the voice of the people. So I think that's important that we're out there in the community and making sure that we're listening and we're bringing that forward. I think that's really important. And I'm fact-based. I'm not there for personal agenda. I'm there, again, looking at numbers and looking at actually facts. And again, I'm not basing any decisions on my personal opinion, which drives me absolutely nuts when you hear somebody say, you know, well, personally, you know, you can't do that, okay? We're elected, again, to be the voice of the people.
Okay. So at this point in the interview, I like to ask people to kind of reflect on the current council. So first question in that section is just, could you comment in general, maybe a couple things that you felt they did well, and maybe something that you could have potentially handled differently had you been in that place?
I guess in hindsight, it would be nice if we could go back on some of this stuff.
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20.
Centennial Park, I think, is a real sore spot for people, and it is for me when driving by and looking at stuff and looking at the process, looking at the amount of money that was spent, 13.5 million, and then the council, then you're sitting here at another council meeting and saying, we need another 682,000. And it's like, oh my God. And then the response is, well, you know, we need the money, so we have to put it there. It's like, has anybody looked back and seen, you know, how we, you know, got here, and why do we keep putting more money in, and where's this money coming from? So that, again, I think we need to look back on, and we really need to analyze what happened and how much money was spent. And I understand that there was added things that had to be done, but truly, renting of fencing, I mean, you know, I'm not going to get into that, but there was a lot of money spent, you know, because it wasn't 1 year. How many years, you know, did that go on for? So, you know, we could pick up, you know, look at different things that with Centennial Park, and it could be a lengthy discussion as well, because you think, how many years has this been going on?
Right, yeah.
Fluoride in water, another hot topic. I mean, but how many discussions do we need? We don't have fluoride in the water. They've already voted on it. Why does we keep coming back with this? Why can't we again forward again with this? So I understand that there's still some, you know, hurdles to jump in looking at that, but again, it's still, excuse me, a topic that is there. Okay, so something that actually is talked about. IT, you know, they need money. They truly need money. We need to get ourselves advanced. We need to get actually in the 21st century here. And stuff like with the software, open source software, get away from actually buying licensing. Go to open source, save that money and put it into other things. Make it a smart community. Okay, so we're looking at that as myself. I think it's really important that we actually start focusing on that. Looking at, I could go through all kinds of things that actually, they've been actually doing. So I could go through a list of different things, but I think it's really important that we look at technology. And I know that some money's been released to IT. I know that the person actually with IT right now, City of Sarnia, is doing a great job. He's actually, focusing, and he's actually getting things done, which is great. So it's nice to see that money's being spent there.
Right. Okay, great. So there's been, I'm talking a little bit about public input, and I know you had mentioned at the beginning of this interview, you're elected, you're the voice of the people. So how do you feel about public input, how that's gone, and what are your thoughts in general on that topic if you were elected?
Well, one of the things I don't like is closed-door meetings. So that bothers me tremendously when I hear about closed-door meetings. And I think we hear that word transparency, and I've heard actually council members go, anybody says transparency. But truly, we need to be transparent in these closed-door meetings. I think, truly, again, where's the transparency in that, first thing? And I think it's important that we are looking at, I'm trying to think of the question again, sorry, I'm trying to get my thought together.
Oh, just some in general comments on public input.
Yeah. Okay, and I think it's important that the public has a total input. The voting, yes, we need to go forward, and we need to actually look at electronic voting. But is it the right decision we made? Did we make the right get the right company in there? Company, when you look at 2 years ago, some of the financial problems they had. Are we actually secure? I mean, I know IT people in the field, and we can talk word security, and there is other ways of doing this.
Right.
I don't believe they've actually looked at, and yes, they say that we've looked at it for years, and we've gone through this, and we've gone through that. But, when the people said, we should have this on the ballot, did it ever go on the ballot? When people said we should have paper ballots along with, can we do both things? Did it happen? No. So, again, the people are asking, and the people wanted input, and where have we landed up? Right now, people are in uproar, and I'm not saying that it's seniors or anybody in particular. I think it's a lot more security. I think people are starting to question more of the security aspect of it.
Okay, fair enough. So at this part of the interview, the part 3, where we'll get into the kind of specifics, issues that you would like to bring to City Hall if you're elected. So for this part, we'll start in general. Could you tell me about issues that you're campaigning on?
I think first off, in the city, we need to clean it up a bit. We have a lot of youth homelessness. We have illicit drugs. So I think working really with different organizations and trying to work, and clean that up is going to be really important. It's going to be a long haul, but we do need to get some focus there. We also need to, again, turn the city into a more smart city. We need to actually be looking at tying things together, looking at different apps, making it a centralized, app for this between, transit, water, light, even stoplights, right? When you're looking at the traffic system. So somehow tying this all together, again, moving forward, and again, utilizing technology. Technology leads to efficiency. Okay, so, and I think it's really important that we all get on board with that.
Okay. So you did mention youth. And youth homelessness, I just want you to follow up on that, because that's a topic that doesn't get brought up a lot. Not a lot of people are even aware that that is an issue in Sarnia. So do you think that you could elaborate on that a little bit, just for the people who are watching?
We do have it, and it is in different cities, but yes, in Sarnia we definitely have it. And we need to actually start focusing on the youth. Where do they have to go? What do they have? How can we develop? Because truly we can still do something with them, and actually, whatever we can do to create actually a safer environment for them, as well as gradually making productive people in society. So we can't give up on the youth, and truly we need to spend some time, and we need to spend some dollars on the youth and making sure that they're looked after. Okay, they're the future.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of, we'll switch gears a little bit, and the business sectors in Sarnia, could you comment on how you feel we could be attracting new businesses to Sarnia and to increase our tax base in that respect?
Within Sarnia, I've looked at slow. It's just slow, infrastructure. You know, our infrastructure truly needs work, but I find that we're very slow in actually, you know, building what we need to do. We don't have a lot of areas to expand in, so we do need to look at our, you know, what we have inside as well for businesses. I think there need to be more incentive for small companies. I think we could be the small Silicon Valley. I mean, if we look truly at technology and how we can actually be the hub for this. I think also when we're looking at this, I mean, have we ever thought about renting a desk? You know, as opposed to that we have to have space. So, you know, there's a lot of, we have to open our minds to actually how we can actually do this. And looking at the youth and looking at young people like yourselves, I mean, great, you know, thoughts and different things that actually youth can contribute as well. You know, how can we do this? We want to keep young people in town, okay? We want to attract young people. So how are we going to do that? And I think that that's going to be really important with small businesses. And again, incentives, you know, what can we do to actually do that for people?
Right. Okay. So if you are elected, what could we expect from you in terms of your leadership and how you will be interacting with the taxpayers?
Okay. I, again, think that the open door policy is really important. I think we need to be available. We need to actually listen to everybody. Again, not having any personal agendas, I think is really important. And again, listening to everybody and focusing again on everybody. You know, again, I love the seniors. Again, I worked with seniors for many, many years, and I'm not saying that shouldn't be a focus, but I'm saying truly should that only be the focus. I think we need to look at everybody. I think we need to make sure that we're bringing in, you know, even skilled laborers. What can we do here, the skilled trades? You know, how can we grow, okay, with everybody actually having a piece of it?
Right, right. Okay. And so there's 28 of you guys that are all running for the 4 seats. This is something that I ask everybody because, like myself, there's many others who just has not decided yet who we're going to vote for. So what sets you apart? Why would we choose to vote for you as opposed to one of the other 27?
Okay, well, again, I've mentioned a few times now about personal agendas, and I'm not saying that, you know, everybody has one, but I believe myself, I don't have one. I'm there, again, for the people. And if anybody knows me from chairing and all the different other organizations I've been in, I am a straight shooter. Sometimes people don't like what I have to say, but I feel, again, that's important to say, that, especially when it comes to facts. I'm fact-based. I will do my research. If I don't have an answer, I'll say I don't have an answer, and I will get back to you. So that's one thing I will do. I don't like the fluff. I don't like, and again, I can use the word BS. And again, a straight shooter. Okay, and I'm approachable. Okay, so I think that's really important.
All right, great. So that's kind of it for the general questions that I have for you in your candidacy, but I just want to give you the opportunity if there's something that you'd like to add in that we didn't touch on. Opportunity for that, or what's kind of your final message for the people who are watching?
Again, I think it's important you look at everybody, again, when you're looking at different people, and again, start kind of sorting through, again, you know, who, you know, is there for actually the people. I think it's going to be important who is the voice of the people, who will make sure that their voice is heard, okay? And again, trying to make sure that we're always focusing again on them, okay, because they're the taxpayer. And again, you know, people, again, say a lot of opinions, and I again, don't feel that opinions are really something that we should be carrying forward. I think, again, you know, when we say that people want, okay, that's a good thing. Me personally, okay, doesn't matter what I feel sometimes, okay, but it's what people want.
Right. Okay, great. So thanks again. I really, really appreciate that you made the time. So this has been Janet Chynces. Janet is again looking to be your next city councillor in the upcoming Sarnia municipal election. If you like what she has to say, polls open October 11th. You can vote 24/7 from October 11th through to October 22nd, the election day. Thanks for watching.